Okay, so we're going to be making our pattern bugs. Okay, so as you can see in mine, I have one beetle that I chose from the beetle page that has different types of beetles, and then I drew that out to start with. Now I'm okay with you combining certain beetles. So if you have if you want to do, for example, maybe this beetle, but then want to combine the body of this one with the antennas on this one, you can. That's up to you. This is double-sided, so you're going to just go through and pick the one that you want. So when you're looking at these, you'll notice their bodies are symmetrical. So if I was to draw a line in the middle, everything that you do on one side would be the same on the other side. So what I'm going to do to start with, and I want to make these kind of big so I can fit the patterns in them. I'm okay if you feel really confident with drawing on this paper, with you drawing more than one bug, but again, it needs to be big enough to fit the pattern. This is not going to be something you're going to get to restart if you make a mistake. There's only enough of these sheets for everybody to have one. So it's kind of like, you know, as an artist, you need to really think about, if I make a mistake, how can I make that work? What can I do to that mistake I made to make it look like I did it on purpose? So the first thing I'm going to do is draw a line down the center of my page, but I want to leave space at the top and bottom. So I'm just going to come and I'm going to do one vertical line in the middle like that. And that's going to help me keep my shapes symmetrical. Now when you're looking at these bugs, you're going to notice there's pieces that look like shapes. So for example, if I'm looking at this Goliath bug or beetle, I would look at the first part of his head, which is kind of like an oval shape. Then when I come down here, this looks like a circle. And then this kind of almost looks like an oval as well, but for me, I kind of see a stretched out heart, so I would kind of draw almost like a heart shape. If you look at this one, this is kind of just like a half cut off oval here. So, or this one kind of looks more like a rectangle. So you're going to have to go in and find the shapes on your own. So I'm going to start with, I'll start here and I'll do the head after. So this is kind of like a squished down circle. So what I'm going to do is come a little bit below this line, so I'm saving room for my head. And you can start wherever you want. If you think it's easier to start with the body or head, that's up to you. So I'm going to just do about a circle, and what I like to do is I like to do about half of it, so that when I come around here and redraw, I have the other half. So I'm now going to come in and draw the other half. And when you're looking at this, you'll see they're perfectly symmetrical. The space is equal on this side to this side, which is what I want. So now I have the body, and I'm just going to see what other shapes I have. So right here in the middle of the body, looks like there's a little upside down triangle. So I'm going to draw that. Okay. And then now I'm going to add that body. So I'm going to look at this shape on this end and draw that half. So it comes out. And this is where you really have to look at the image and draw carefully from it. Okay, so now I can already tell I made a mistake, because guess what? This line is too long for the type of bug that I have. So this is where I can go in, maybe I like the body better on this one, and I can stretch it down a little farther. So again, this is okay. I maybe drew that a little off, but now this is still going to look like a beetle, because there are beetles with a body like that. So if you make a mistake, go with it. Okay, so now I'm going to look at the legs, and all the legs are different. Okay, these are kind of boring to me, so if I want to add some more interesting antennas and legs to this guy, I can. Okay, so I'm going to just start with the ones he has, and it looks like he has a triangle, or I'm sorry, not a triangle, a square for the upper part of his arms. It's almost like a square shape, and then he has these claws that come out. And the more you go over that line back and forth, the thicker it's going to get. So if I want a really thick line, I just carefully go back and forth. All right, and he has these little claws that hang up here. He doesn't really have any big antennas, although I do notice these little things here. Maybe I want to give him some interesting antennas, so I'll do something like this. But I just want to make sure whatever I do on one side, I try to keep it symmetrical and the same on the other. So now I got to give him some legs, so maybe I'll do, maybe I'll go really crazy with it and do some curvy legs. know, that's weird. I'm just gonna go with it. Okay, so now is the part where you want to draw the eyes in. So some of them have eyes, some of them don't. If you want to give him eyes, this is, again, we just want it to have that beetle bug appearance, but it doesn't have to look exactly like the one you're looking at, okay? So I maybe will go in, I like to give them eyes. Maybe something like this. Okay, I've got my beetle in there. Now I need to add my patterns. So whatever pattern you do on one side has to be the same on the other side. So for example, if I do something like a shape like this, I gotta make sure I now take that shape and repeat it over on this side of the line, okay? And then maybe I wanna repeat that shape down here. So with the pattern part, I like to start with the bigger shapes first and then work my way into the smaller things. Maybe I'll just add something down here. All right. Okay, so I've got my bigger shapes, so now I'm gonna do my pattern. So I could do polka dots, lines, different types of lines, different types of smaller shapes. And you can always switch over the edge of your drawing tool if you need to, if that's a little easier for you. Maybe here I want to do some wiggly and straight lines or wiggly and zigzag. So I'm going to keep going and adding some patterns and lines throughout. And then when I'm done, I should have something nice and full like this. Okay, so the first step is to draw that bug, look at the shapes, look at the examples you have in front of you, and then the second part is to go in and keep, I'm obviously not done on him, but it would keep adding pattern and designs to this till it looks complete and full.